It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. We were talking earlier about the process of getting the owner out of the business. And I had even said, like, one of the things I see is the owner tries to get off the truck too fast. And I see it that can sometimes be detrimental to their speed of getting out of the day-to-day stuff, which seems counterintuitive because you're like, well, if I get off the truck, then I'm out of that. Then I'm like not working in the business. I'm working on the business. But they do it a little bit too soon. They do it like they get off the truck when they're buying their second truck, or like before they even buy their second truck. And I think it's a little premature sometimes because they go take a job that pays them less and they're not very good at when they're abandoning, for their own financial reasons, they're abandoning a job that they're better at that pays them more. What advice you have, or what common tendencies do you see to that successfully help owners become an owner instead of an operator, and a CEO instead of a COO?
Yeah. So there's many different ways to do it, but one of the ways where I try to create this visual so people can understand is there's really 5 stages to your business, right? The first one is your owner operator, so you're on the field most of the time. Second stage, you're starting to get off the field and you're working, you're beginning to work in the office. Third, you're just in the office and you're really just focused mainly on probably sales and marketing, right? And building your systems. Then stage 4 is you're starting to really train your team to start making those decisions or to bring the solutions to you. So basically what you're doing during stage 3 to stage 4 is creating the systems and having people give you solutions as you're not doing all the thinking. And then once you can really measure your performance, measure their performance, and to be able to know on a daily to weekly to monthly basis whether the business is making money. If you don't know on a weekly basis whether you've made money that week, or you're over your hours or whatever that is, you're not ready to move out. Okay, you have to stay until it's very consistent, and usually it has to be consistent not just for a few weeks or months. It's got to be consistent for a year plus, where people are doing the job for you. You're still monitoring everything. You're keeping track of the numbers. Yes, it makes sense. You have no trust issues. People are stable. So and stability and trust is not built in a week. Stability and trust is built over months and years. So if you have a young team, you should be hyper aware that the process may take longer. So taking yourself out of the equation has to be calculated, and when it's done, when that stage 5, basically you're the owner, but you're not doing much more than just checking, making sure everything's good, and solving the big problems, or helping out to coming out with the big solutions. But essentially, there's maturity involved in that, and I think you have to keep that in mind as you're growing too. So.
Yeah, it almost seems like a thing where the business will tell you.
Yep.
That's
a good way to put it.
Which is like contrary to what we were talking about earlier, where it's like you need to let your life dictate the work, but you need to let the work dictate when you can exit the work and focus more on being an owner instead of an operator. Because I see people force that issue, and it pulls them back into the operations more because they do it a little too soon. They do it when financially it's a bad move, because they're not generally at that level. They're not obsessing about the financials that much. And so they do it because somebody told them it was the right thing to do. And they didn't actually calculate what the impact of them getting out of the truck would be, or getting out of the field would be. And they do it and they go, oh shit, now I'm not making any money because I'm paying them to go do that work. I'm sitting here doing something that doesn't add enough value because I don't really know what to do with myself, and I can't generate enough work because I don't have enough employees, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And all of a sudden they just like handcuff themselves, and then they like hate their business. It's that back to the spectrum of like the love and hate of our businesses, which can like literally be, happen multiple times in a day. But usually there's that inflection point where they go back to hating their business, and then they're like a victim of their business and they're back out in the field, and they don't look in the mirror and say, oh, I just made this decision like far too soon to try to get out of the field or whatever it is and fire myself from the thing that I was doing. It's a process.